Matthew, welcome to Tech Works.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's start with the event. Of course, this is the inaugural event, a year's worth of blood, sweat and tears to put it together. What's the inspiration behind this, and why did BCX throw its full weight behind creating something like this?
So I think there's two inspirations. I mean, My World of Tomorrow Africa is about our belief that things are really changing. The Internet of Things really is bringing all connected devices together. It's merging industries and audiences. So we really felt that it's the right time to bring an event that brings a whole bunch of technological providers that often wouldn't be together, like a Samsung with an SAP, and as a result also bring audiences that wouldn't normally be together in one place. So you've got school kids or young people, you've got old people, you've got businessmen, government, because it's when they connect and when they start seeing each other from the right perspective that innovation becomes a reality. So that's the one reason. The other reason is a bit more practical. I don't know how old you are, but I'm maybe a little bit older, and I was actually talking to some of the CIOs, and we all remember the computer fair. And that was a definitive show you would go to with generic technology and get excited about every year. And somewhere along the line, people got bored of PCs, and it died. And there really isn't, we believe, that definitive fair for consumers and business people to go and say, what's happening? Let me come there and be excited about the future.
Now let's talk about your audience, your consumer base. There are two sides to the coin in South Africa. That's your business consumer and that's your normal consumer. How does this fair or this exhibition fit the mold for both?
Okay, so we believe, I'll be a little bit technical here, we believe that there are four huge trends that are affecting technology and the world, and that's, we use the word SMAC, you may have heard it before, social, mobility, mobile phones and all those kind of peripheral devices, big data or analytics, and cloud computing. So from a consumer point of view, it starts with the consumers very interested in social media. Hey, what's going on? What's the next Twitter? What's the next Instagram? Very interested in mobile devices and these cool things.
Because everything's about
Absolutely.
mobility these days.
And then becomes a bit more interested in analytics because, how can these things start teaching me to have a better insight into the world? And then is also becoming more interested in the cloud provision that can give them a free access to service. Now, that's how they view the world. But if you're a business, you've actually got to view the same world, just the other way around. We as businesses are very interested in clouds and data centers. Business Connexion, the biggest data center provider in the country. We want to know how their technology works. Now we have to start saying, but how do we use all this data we have to analyze it and make it useful for people? And to do that, we really need to understand what devices they're using, which is mobility, and how they're accessing and using those devices, which is social media. So we are actually dealing with the same trends, just from a different direction. So here we've got all of those ideas being represented by solution providers, and I like to say that the business guy's walking down the passage one way, and the consumer's walking down the same passage just the other way, and actually where they cross is where the next solution stays.
So one of the places where they cross is mobile and mobility, and this conference is also an Africa-wide conference. Yes. We know we're sitting with over 600 million mobile phones on the African continent. Where's mobility and mobile fitting into this space?
Well, I think for me, mobility, I like to take to full device and sensors and all those things that mean we can move technology's impact closer to reality. So old IT, I don't like to talk about being an IT or an ICT company anymore, because old IT focused on a representation of reality.
Would you call yourself an innovation company?
Technology company. I'm happy, I'll just rest with technology. But you see, IT is removed, and because it was good for Western nations where we dealt with ERP systems and they were important to us, it still wasn't able to impact the everyday life. And as that technology gets closer to reality, I call it computing reality, so now our mind boggles as to how we can use it in everyday African communities. Take healthcare. If you were ill in the past, or I see you're pregnant, you might go to your healthcare professional, and especially if you're in an African community, you can only get there once a month. You say, I'm feeling dizzy, I've got a problem. She takes your pressure and she does a couple of tests, she writes them down and says, take these pills, come back in a month's time and I'll assess you. She has maybe over 3 months, 3 categories of data to try and work out what's going on. Now, she gives you a wearable device, says, go away, keep wearing this, and she has a whole bunch of data, what happens to you the whole time until you return, or you may not have to return because you can access it via your mobile phone.
So the concept of e-health.
Absolutely, but at another level.
Now Matthew, we're running out of time, but what is the concept or trend that you're most excited about for 2015?
For 2015, I really think the trend that's becoming a reality is the way in which education is changing. And I think that, especially it's close to my heart in South Africa, I'm seeing some stuff, and it's around here, on virtual reality being used in technology, from sophisticated video conferencing, but to another level that I think the government needs to really back, because that is where we're going to change our education crisis.
Well, hopefully they'll visit the exhibition next year, Matthew.
So, thank you very much for your time.